Well, good morning. Today's Saturday, August 17th. It's 64 degrees, a high of 82, I think. It's more like the weather we used to have in the old days, where summer started to decline in August. Of course, the days are getting shorter. 2 more days to a full moon. It's a waxing gibbous moon. So this is my onion bed. Planted these on the 9th, and they are coming up. Yeah, so just to show you guys, there's my other bed. Now these seeds right here that I planted here in this bed were homegrown seeds. Seeds that I grew from sets that I got down at Gold Leaf Nursery. Here is my schedule, my chart that I use right here. You can always take a picture of that and print your own, but if you go to Shasta College, you can get get this on their website, and then you can print it out. So this is what I use. This is my guide. This is our local guide, because we can get, if you notice these lines right here, we can get fall crops as well as spring crops. And this is August right here in the light. What is that, pink? I don't know. Yeah. So you'll see that there's a lot of things you can plant, and there's a lot of things you can plant in July too for the fall seasons. But one thing you don't see on here, see, it gives you the list of all that stuff that you can when it's time to plant. But you can't forget that Shasta County has excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry, excuse me for that. Anyhow, Shasta County has all kinds of microclimates. Now these I bought at Tractor Supply. They're not coming up so well, and they were planted exactly the same. So I suggest, when you buy your seeds, try to buy seeds. Here's my potato patch. This is my fall potato patch. We kind of had a bust on our potatoes this year. I didn't have this fenced off, so the deer wiped me out. And those tops, you really got to take care of the tops on those. So we are going to fence this little area off, and soon, because I don't want the deer eating the tops off of those fresh sprouts. So my cantaloupes are about done. Cantaloupes here, same thing. Buy your seeds local grown seeds. As you can tell, this is what you get if you don't. Excuse me. Poor pollination is what they attribute that to, but I attribute it to poor seed supplier. I think the seeds are a producer, because these seeds we had 2 different beds. We have another bed down lower. We have so if I got to fence these beds off here, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want to spend the money. Last time I checked, it was about $358 for a 5-foot high fence, the heavy gauge roll of fencing. But I have the T-post. I don't have to buy T-post. I'll reuse these T-posts right here, and we'll just come off the corner of that building, that drying shed, and just come over here, and then straight across there, and then back over to the corner over there, with a gate right here, somewheres, probably right here, and a gate over there so that we can get to it. But so I had to replant these. I hope they come up. They didn't have the potatoes I had. I did cut the eyes, cut them, but some of those potatoes had sprouts and some didn't. So we'll see what happens. I may not grow potatoes again, but probably would have had good potatoes if I had fenced this off. So this garden needs a fence. Anyway, so that's that for that garden. Get that fence built. We'll probably, and I do have a tripod and mics and stuff, so we can put mics on our lapels and so there's a proposition coming up on the voting rolls in November, Proposition 33, and if you're smart, you'll vote against it, because what it's going to do for us is it'll really put us out of business as far as rentals go. It'll ruin the housing industry. You know, these leftists, they come up with these phony baloney ideas that they're going to fix things. Government can't fix anything. So look at this volunteer tomato right here. This was a big beef, but I don't know what's going on here, and I don't understand what's causing that right there. Probably calcium. I'll give that girl some calcium here. So these beds right here, you know, if you know any contractors in town, and they do Caltrans work, they always have these. They'll always have these guardrails, these used guardrails, and you can use those, or you can build one. That one there cost me $110 to build, probably more than that now. But yeah, you can do that. The bees are hard at work this morning. Hopefully we'll get some squash out of these plants. These are crooknecked. We had scallops over there, and they got so infested with aphids we had to pull them out again. So here's our cabbage. Cabbage is growing. Pretty cool. That's one of those fall crops that you can get in. They like cool weather. Cabbage and lettuce. A lot of the brassicas. Everybody's looking good this morning. Here we got more cabbage here. I kind of got carried away on the seeds. Person should only put 3 seeds. You want these 18 to 24 inches apart. So this is about the right spacing right here for these. So we'll probably let these grow, and when they get about this tall, then I'll snip them off with the scissors. The ones that, so I'm gonna probably get my tape measure out, and I'll measure like I'll measure from this one over to this one maybe, or this one. It's in the center. You want it in the center of your bed. So who's to say? I don't know what that is. Or this. Or this. I know what this is. This is Sophie. This is my cat. She's got her eye on something, or she had her eye on something down there. So I harvested all my tomatoes yesterday, or no, day before yesterday, in the evening. We're not getting really big tomatoes this year. Same kind of tomato plants. Uh-oh, it looks like the deer have been chewing on that thing. I need to get it up over here. Ah, dear. dear. What are you finding in there, Sophie? What's in there? What do you got? She's a lizard killer. Lizard killer of all killers. She is the lizard hunting cat. She hunts those lizards. I used to have a dog that would eat anything. He ended up getting stomach cancer, dying. Mr. Duke. So I had to replant this bed. These were homegrown. These were homegrown. They're starting to come up. These seeds here were homegrown seeds. I had to replant. I replanted on 8/15, so we had planted them on 8/4 and the 17th. So probably germination is 7 to 14 days. So I get impatient and then I replant. Now I got too much. So I found a new seed supplier, local in Manton. Now Manton's climate is different than mine. Manton is more like, it gets, you know, they grow apples up there around Manton, a lot of apples. But this seed supply is called Redwood Seeds. And they have all kinds of seeds. But I'm gonna, before I buy any seeds from them, I wanna contact them and I wanna know about their climate. I want to know when they do grow, like if they grow melons. Man, I need to fix that. That's driving me crazy. Anyways, so melons, they, so you'll see what I'm talking about. They attribute this shape because they said it didn't get fully fertilized, and they say that it has to get like 255 grains of pollen to be fully pollinated, or a bee needs to visit each blossom at least 7 times. It has to be visited by bees. Now this one here, we had one just like it laying right here. And we, look at that baby, it is taut. That string, boing. See? Anyways, so not all of them do we, you know, I just want to see with that one what's going to happen. This one back here. Anyway, so even though, I mean, I need to try, so this one right here has got blossom end rot. And I haven't gotten any more blossom end rot because I gave these guys some calcium, these plants. Now, now that I know, what I should have done was, like, I should have put like just one plant right there, a little ways from the side here. And then I just should have went like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. None on the other side. That's what I'll do next time. But I'm gonna start getting this ground here prepped for my cabbage. So I'm gonna start my cabbage 2 weeks behind the other cabbage. I'm not gonna take this down because I want it to shade. So I will clip them off, and then I'm gonna turn the soil over. That lazy gardening is just not for me, you know. I gotta turn my gardens over. Boy, look at the aphids. Everything's sticky. Yeah, probably I need to do that this week with these. I need to clip these off so that these die and the aphids go away before I plant, because I'm gonna I'm gonna spray this with malathion, try to kill off, but I'm not gonna do it before I harvest. So I'm gonna clip these off and then spray it, drench it down really heavy with malathion. Maybe I'll just clip it off and let them die, and the aphids will die. Probably ought to do that pretty soon if I want to get my my brassicas going. So same here. I'll get this soil here prepared for my. I think we're gonna go cabbage here and here, and then we're gonna go with. I never can remember the name of those little cabbages. What do they call those? Anyways, stupid name. So that's what I'm going to plant here, and probably ought to get them going pretty soon, because I don't know if we're going to have another heat wave or what's going to happen. And that's another thing that killed us this year too, was the heat wave. Because when it gets real hot like that, those bees, they won't. They're not coming around. They're gonna stay in the hive. They gotta cool them hives down. You don't want your wax to melt. Anyway, so hi Mo. So bright Sunday. Come outside, the sun was really bright today. This is our pumpkins. Hopefully we'll get some pumpkins going here pretty soon. All I see is male blossoms though. Sooner or later we gotta get some pumpkins. See about the acorn squash. The deer I don't care, they eat these leaves. It saves me having to trim them off, because I trim them off here. Let's see, yeah, they're getting right in here. That's good. I just hope they're not eating my, yeah, see, there's an acorn squash right down in there. They won't bother that. Jeez, one acorn squash. I'm gonna go about it differently this year, next year too. Next year, I'm gonna grow my pumpkins and my potatoes in the same patch. See how I can, see if that'll work. I'll do the research first. We're looking for our lima beans. Peas grow great. Beans are a problem. I have a hard time growing beans. So the deer, you know, we kind of want them to fill up on this stuff. These are volunteers. It's okay. So, and they won't eat this. They won't eat the asparagus. So look at this delectable little asparagus. You can pluck those tops and eat them, and they taste just like asparagus. Ooh, there's that bright sun, man. Look at, we have beans here. No beans over there. So we'll be pulling this out on the 1st of September, a couple of weeks. We'll be planting our garlic. We're gonna let that bed go into October for the beans. We'll pull them all out and we'll plant garlic in there. So it'll be 2 weeks behind this one, because we used to do that. We practice succession gardening that way. Our drying shed doesn't get overloaded, And hopefully we'll get some onions. So it shows on the chart you can grow when to start your onions. So shows 1st August, I think. Maybe it was, and it might even been the last 2 weeks of July. Some of those root crops, they want you to get them going in July or August, and I selected to go for August. So everybody's looking good. I'm either gonna pull these out, probably. This is red Swiss chard, or what they call rhubarb Swiss chard. Swiss chard's, I mean, I don't mind it. My wife doesn't like it, so I don't need that much. She keeps telling me not to cook it for her, so I won't cook her any more of it. And I'm the only one that eats it, so I'll cook it. So, yeah, look at our peppers. Peppers do good in the last half of the summer. That's what's cool about peppers. And these are shishito. And I grew shishitsu last year. Shushito is what I grew last year, I think. And I was thinking, I knew what I had, but I thought, oh, there's just a different name. And I should have paid attention. I should have read more up on them, because these babies right here, they'll light you up. Which is okay, because I don't have any hot peppers growing. And look at this guy's taking off back here. He's back in the back. So, thing about peppers, I think they need about 5 to 8 hours of sun per day, direct sun. Excuse me. So you're going to want to plant them in a protected area, somewhere where they're going to be shade, especially the hottest part of the day. So this is a good place for peppers right here in the cucumber tomato tunnel. So this cucumber right here, I need to follow the vine down to this trunk, because I need to know which one of these is where this one comes from, because I'm going to let this one go to seed. You want to get your own seed patch if you can. Now, I don't know if these will cross-pollinate with these others, but if they do, we'll see if they do. Here's one that didn't get pollinated. And it looks like some of these are not getting totally pollinated. Like this one, see? Yeah. It'll probably be all right. So I harvested a lot of cucumbers, so anybody that I know, if you want some produce, you come to my house, because I got tomatoes, I got cucumbers, I did have a bunch of, my first run on the cantaloupes, I did have a lot of cantaloupes. So let's use this one. So, yeah, I got to build me a covered thing here. Get me a sheet of plywood or some wafer board or something. Some metal. Put a metal roof on it so it drains out that way when it rains. You know, just build something. And then put me a pegboard backing, or just a plywood, probably just plywood, and then just put some nails or some screws to hang my tools. There's all my tools. So yeah, when you see these guys like this right here, you see this one right here, yeah, you're gonna want to clip those off. Let those go. I think I seen another one. So this one's gonna go to seed. So you wanna come along here every once in a while and clip out all of these dying leaves. Excuse me again. Clearing my throat. I haven't eaten no breakfast yet, so. Yeah, I drank a bunch of wine last night and I'm feeling kind of queasy this morning. Sometimes that's all that helps me with the pain. It's a good excuse anyways. So yeah, look at this guy up here. It needs to be harvested. So the thing about these Armenian cucumbers is they don't get bitter. They're actually a melon, but they taste like a cucumber. So and they taste exactly like a cucumber. The flesh is like cucumber. They get a little rubbery when you after you pick them though. So you need to cut them up, eat them. That's probably why you don't see them in the produce stands. I should say. But yeah, this one's going to go to seed. We're going to see how big it gets. So this plant right here, it's connected to, if you don't harvest, a lot of the times when you don't harvest your fruits, like I know for sure on these cucumbers, if you don't harvest your cucumbers and they start turning yellow, that plant is going to shut down and it will stop producing fruit. So you're going to want to, excuse me, you're going to want to. I seen another great big Armenian cucumber here that's why I went and got these. Oh, here it is right here in plain sight. So yeah, just cut those off. I'll pick them up later. See, this is my compost heap. Everything goes in there, all my kitchen leftovers, everything goes in there. So this pumpkin here, I planted these seeds. So when you have volunteers come up, like see, those are volunteer tomatoes right there. I noticed tomatoes are okay because I have a volunteer over here and I know that these tomatoes will be okay. See, I know these tomatoes right here. So it might have got crossed up with a better boy or early girl or something like that because I had some of those. So that's okay. That's okay, I don't mind. I like the big old beefy, meaty tomatoes. Last year those tomatoes we had were so big and beefy and meaty. That was a good name. So when you get these leaves, when they start doing this right here, I think they're pretty much done. You can see on the margins of some of these leaves that they start dying off. See how that one's starting to die? Yeah, you can clip them off. Don't clip off more than 30%. So you want to leave at least 70% of your foliage when you come to trim these. So he's pretty tall. And don't give your tomatoes nitrogen. You know, when they start growing and they're doing well, you can give them nitrogen when they first start their growth. But after that, don't give them any more nitrogen because all they'll do is produce foliage. And that's one of the things you want to do is trim back your foliage so that you're gonna get more fruit. So you can see right here, this tomato plant, this leaf right here is going to be more of a burden for your plant. Although you gotta have photosynthesis through the leaves to produce this plant. But when you start seeing those plants that are see this limb right here, it took off right here. I didn't want it. I just wanted a single stalk. I cut a big one off of right here the other day. So you don't want to trim, you really don't want to trim a lot on your, if you end up cutting a great big old one of the great big stalks out of there, let it go for a week before you start trimming off your shade leaves. So it's been about a week since I trimmed that, and I want all my growth to go into this one plant. I want all my growth to go into the tomatoes themselves, the fruit. So, you know, and I don't know a whole lot about, peppers, but I am learning, and so I've been able to learn. See, this is a hot pepper. This is a chili pepper. So that's what we want. We're gonna, I don't see these getting very big though. So we want to dry these. I'm gonna dry these out, and we'll have chili flakes, or put it in some chili. I'll make some chili and put it in there. And I've been kind of rating my, when you see these leaves like this on these peppers, you can pop these right off, right? So I've been rating my pepper plant. See, I've been picking some off of this plant right here to make, I make a taco soup. And so you got to have a cup of diced peppers, remove the seeds and dice the peppers, and my taco soup is delicious. I just made a batch of it last week. So marigolds are looking nice. I've been kind of pulling them out because they, see, and I cut out some of my hibiscus. Probably not a good idea, but I did cut some of it out because I want to, when they start, I don't know when they're gonna put the blossoms on, but the blossoms will be really red, and so I kind of want more, you know, to thin them out a little bit so that we can get the blossoms going, and there'll be more water and feed for them plants that are left. I hope they produce big red blossoms, and I'm gonna leave some to go to seed. So I'll probably, once they get blossomed out, then I'll probably cut these off right here. I'll leave this little row here to go to seed, and then I'll plant more brassicas, but they better hurry up. So maybe I got some other stuff on my chart that I can find that I can plant. Maybe we'll just plant garlic in there. You know, you can stick garlic anywhere you want. So the peppers will leave. I'll let them stay, because you actually can treat a pepper like perennial. They are perennials. So you can dig them up. See this plant right here, I dug it up and it started producing. I dug it up, took it in the garage, and I set it in the south window, and I kept it watered, and it survived. I had two of them one of them died. So I brought it out here and planted it, and it died. So this pepper right here is doing well, but they're getting treated a lot better than they used to, because I didn't know nothing about growing peppers last year. So see, and this guy here, he's not getting enough sun, but he's still putting on peppers. And it's a shishito. So, and these peppers right here, they do turn red. So, and you can eat them green. They do turn red when they're done. And this is a bell pepper right here. So these are shishito, Big Bertha bell, another bell. These here I bought at Costco. So they probably came from down in the valley somewhere. But these peppers right here are pretty cool. I like the colors of them. Look at them. They're beautiful. So they're yellow, and then they turn red. And I seem to have lost the tag for this guy. Doggone it. I want to know. That's a bummer. I'm kind of bummed out. Now these are red. These are going to turn yellow. I think these bell peppers here are going to turn yellow. We have one back here that's it's turning yellow. So we're looking good, looking good. So when you start learning which of these plants will continue to produce all the way into November, even the tomatoes, and then when they stop, you can pick the green one and have green fried tomatoes November and December. So this guy right here, this is a pepper plant, and he's not getting enough sun. He's pretty well shaded up, but these cucumbers are getting infested with aphids, as you can see, and I'm gonna have to spray with neem oil because they're starting to get my squash plants. So I need to go mix up some neem oil and give them a shot. I don't think neem oil doesn't hurt the bees. I don't think. I'll have to read it up. I'll have to get studied up on it. There is some stuff that you can use, organic stuff that won't kill your bees. So anyways, that's that. We're learning. I am a learning. So I have, there's a brassica. And you can tell that this brassica right here is, it's a brassica by the shape. So all the brassicas that you grow will have that shape. All the brassicas. Here's another one right here. So you can tell by looking. I'm just kind of dinging around this morning. We see we have more popping up. I did replant. Let's see. I planted these on 810 red acre cabbage. These are all red. I haven't planted any white cabbage yet. So I replanted on the 15th. So a couple days ago. So we didn't have, I'm sorry I have to clear my throat all the time, guys. I have GERD. Yeah. I don't see any bugs. I see some. There's a brassica. There's one over there. I'm gonna water these, but I'm not gonna water them till about mid-morning. Right now I gotta go inside. So I gotta come back out here and spray neem oil on these. Try to keel off those stinking aphids. So I'll show you what kind of. I haven't been keeping up on my board either, but that's all right. I got everything written down out there. Okay, so this is called Neem Max, right? You're gonna get more out of this. This is what I use when I spray aphids when the bees are out. So, and I do believe that this one, I need to have a table over there against the wall. All right, so mix up to 20 gallons. See, this is 4 and 1. So insecticide, fungicide, miticide, nematicide, cold pressed neem oil. And see, it's 70%. And this is the kind you want to get right here. This is the Neem Max, right? And then I have Dawn soap too. I'll probably put a little Dawn soap in with that neem oil. Maybe not. I don't want to break it down. So, and then I have Liquid Crop. I have a cat. There's a cat in there too. So, And then the borax, we give them a teaspoon of that borax. And we have sulfur, right? So when you get serious, I use that sulfur on powdery mildew when I get powdery mildew. Never had powdery mildew. It must have came from overseas somewhere. And then we have EB Stone for Ultra Bloom when you want your plants to bloom. You know, it's organic. It's 0-10-10. So anytime you want your bloom blossoms and you want to try setting, if you're getting too much foliage and no blossoms, then you're going to want to. So there's a whole array of things here. You know, you're going to want to give them some of that. And when you got powdery mildew, give them that. And then you have this plant therapy, kills on contact, non-toxic. It kills spider mites and powdery mildew. That came from my wife's stuff. And then we have 7 here, disease control, right there. So, yeah, when you get into gardening, you're like, you be thinking like, you know, what do we have here? Oh, that's Sustain. It's probably got cement in it. So you want to put the cement, when you plant your potatoes, you put a little teaspoon of cement with a teaspoon of what was that? What's that other stuff? Okay. All right. But we'll go over that when spring comes. So right now we're going to get some of this mixed up. And we're going to go to war. My pump must be over there. Must be over there. Yeah, I don't think I want that stuff that's in it, though. I think I used that on some foliage, so it's probably got something in it. Nope, it's empty. Right on. Okay, I think it's empty. Yeah, so I'm gonna mix some of this up right here. Anyways, this video is getting too long. It's already 42 minutes long. So, all right, Saturday morning. Thanks for watching. Just hanging out in the garden. See you soon. Bye-bye.